Coming up, Malala Yousafzai, who was shot by the Taliban, has been awarded the Nobel Peace Prize.
The teenager who came to the Midlands fighting for her life became an inspiration the world over for her work campaigning for girls to have an education. More on ITV News Central at 6 o'clock.
Coming up, Malala Yousafzai, the Birmingham teenage girl shot by the Taliban, is awarded the Nobel Peace Prize.
Now the latest ITV News Central with Samina Ali Khan and Matt Teal.
Hello and welcome to the programme. In the Midlands tonight, 2 years after being shot by the Taliban, Malala Yousafzai finds out from her teacher that she's won the Nobel Peace Prize.
She called me and she said, I have something important to tell you. And I was totally surprised when she told me that congratulations, you have won the Nobel Peace Prize.
We don't want you. Birmingham's message to the EDL ahead of tomorrow's protest.
Whoa, what are you doing? Don't let the tea bag sit there brewing.
And the rapper who's become comedy's cup of tea. Good evening. 2 years ago, Malala Yousafzai was fighting for her life, shot by the Taliban in Pakistan for campaigning for the rights of girls to an education. Well, today she's become the youngest person ever to be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize.
Malala was treated by surgeons in Birmingham, a city she's adopted as home. This afternoon, she gave her thanks at a crowded library of Birmingham. Wesley Smith joins us from there now. Good evening to you, Wesley, and quite a day for all concerned.
Yeah, it has been a remarkable day for Malala, but clearly a remarkable day for Birmingham, the city as a whole, if not the Midlands as a whole. Here, the youngest ever recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize, someone who's proud to call herself a Brummie. Indeed, the last time she was here in an official capacity was to open the Library of Birmingham. Now, there was great anticipation as we waited for Malala to arrive today. Then suddenly, as if from nowhere, she appeared and took centre stage. And indeed, she joins a long list of prestigious names with the Nobel Peace Prize, names which include Barack Obama, Nelson Mandela and, of course, Kofi Annan. She was awarded just short of £700,000, and it's likely that that amount will go to the Malala Fund. And Malala, who's 17, was at school in Edgbaston this morning when she heard the news. She says the prize doesn't mean that she doesn't have to give up on those exams. She still has to pass those to be able to make a difference. Now, in her speech today, she paid tribute to her fellow Nobel Prize winner from India, Kailash Satyarthi. He's 60, but has also championed the rights of young girls, especially to force them against child labour.
His great work for child's rights, his great work against child slavery totally inspires me. I found that I have won the Nobel Peace Prize. I decided that I would not leave my school. Rather, I would finish my school time. I went to the physics lesson, I went to the English lessons, and it was totally like, I considered it as a normal day.
Well, as you can imagine, there's been a huge international media presence here. I've worked in this business for nearly 30 years and I've never seen quite so many satellite trucks and camera operators and journalists here. I'll get more of their perspective in just a moment. But also here to present flowers, the High Commissioner for Pakistan, Syed Ibn Abbas. I asked him what this honour meant for his country.
Absolutely delighted, because this is a unique honour not only for her, but we also share her, this award, because I think she has really made us proud. And in a way, it's a unique event because she's the youngest recipient of this award. So I think she has made history in a way.
I do apologise if you may have heard some bad language from someone who was attempting to interrupt just then. Let me say, Malala's journey so far has been epic. So let's take a moment to look back. Callum Watkinson's report now begins with the moment this year's Nobel Peace Prize winner was announced.
The Nobel Peace Prize for 2014 is to be awarded to Kailash Satyarthi and Malala Yousafzai for their struggle against suppression
Malala Yousafzai has come a long way. 2 years and 1 day since the Taliban tried to kill her. Flown from Pakistan to Birmingham, she spent many months in hospital, emerging quietly defiant.
Today you can see that I'm alive. I can speak. I can see you. I can see everyone. And I'm getting better day by day.
Never before have we had a teenager who is so passionate about the future of education.
With their bullets, the Taliban had given her a platform she could not have dreamed of. She celebrated her 16th birthday with a message to the UN.
Those who have fought for their rights, their right to live in peace.
Continuing to live and learn in Birmingham, always stressing she was one girl amongst many. Last year she opened the city's new library.
Honourable and distinguished guests and fellow Broomies.
And her message has been clear and unwavering.
What she's done is she's inspired a whole generation of girls to fight for their rights. I was in Pakistan and I saw how girls were angry, but they were cowed into submission by the fear of the Taliban. What we're seeing is girls fighting back. They're refusing to accept that they've got no rights to education. They're refusing to accept that they should be subjected to being in slave labour.
The humble girl who raised her voice and raised millions through her Malala Fund today joins a list of distinguished figures who took many more than her 17 years to earn their place. Callum Watkinson, ITV News.
Wesley, a remarkable achievement for Malala so far, and indeed a very proud moment not only for her, but also for Birmingham as well.
Yes, and you know, just a short moment ago, there was a big rainbow in the sky just over Birmingham here. Maybe that's something to do with it, who knows. There were also very kind words that Malala had for her father, of course, a man who has had a great influence on her. But I guess some of the most interesting and perhaps important words I've heard today were from the words of the American ambassador to the UN. And he said, "Who is Malala? The gunman asked 2 years ago when he boarded the bus, seeking to kill the girl who wanted to learn. Now, everybody knows." That's it from me for now. Back to you.
Yes, indeed, Wesley. Everybody does indeed know. Thank you very much indeed from the centre of Birmingham for the time being. Right, let's get some other news now. And the family of a man who went missing during a wedding celebration in Warwickshire has made a desperate appeal for him to get in touch. Police say they're very concerned for Baljeev Jahal's welfare.
The 24-year-old disappeared last weekend after leaving a party in Brighton-on-Dunsmore. His family say it's totally out of character. Our correspondent Peter Bean reports.
We don't love him, we worship him. He's our life. He looks great there, doesn't he?
It's been 5 torturous days for Baljeev Jahal's family. He went missing after a wedding party at this leisure centre in Brighton-on-Dunsmore near Coventry. Baljeev and his parents had travelled there from their home in Bramcote in Nottinghamshire. He was his normal, happy self, dancing and having fun. At midnight they left to go home and there was a brief argument about who would drive. Baljeev wandered off and hasn't been seen since.
I got really alarmed, so I called the police in. They sent a helicopter out, dogs came out, and there were 4 other police cars in that area, that vicinity. We still kept on driving around, me and my wife as well, and then we came back to Nottingham in the morning.
We're very concerned for his welfare. We've spoken to the family. This is completely out of character for him, and we're treating it as a high-risk missing persons inquiry.
The 24-year-old had no money on him, no mobile phone. There's been one possible sighting on the road leading to the village of Princethorpe. The family have put up hundreds of posters across the Midlands. Sikh communities around the country are also helping in the search.
We just want to know that you're safe. We love you and we miss you, and just call us.
Baljeev, a keen football fan, had just graduated from Leicester University. Today he was due to attend a job interview.
We're staying positive, we are positive, and we just hope that the general public can help us in this distressing and traumatic time for us. Any information, anything, we just want our boy back, please.
No family could have done more to find a loved one, but Baljeev Johal's disappearance remains a baffling mystery. Peter Bean, ITV News.
In other news, a retired teacher has appeared at Coventry Magistrates Court, charged with a number of historical sexual offences against teenage boys in the 1980s. John Patton of Mount Nod in Coventry was charged with 3 counts of indecent assault against 2 former pupils who were aged 15 at the time. The alleged offences are reported to have taken place between April and May 1984. The 75-year-old has been released on court bail and is due before Warwick Crown Court in January.
Around 500 jobs are being cut at Severn Trent Water. The company, whose headquarters is based in Coventry, says the management and support roles are being axed. It says this includes job duplication after parts of the business were merged, including water and wastewater operations.
Almost 1,000 police officers will be on duty tomorrow for 2 protests, one by the English Defence League and the other by Unite Against Fascism. Religious groups, the City Council and the Police and Crime Commissioner issued a statement saying the EDL aren't welcome in the city.
Well, the EDL said it's non-violent and its protest is to pressure the government to deal with what they say is the abuse of English girls by Muslim men in the wake of the abuse scandal in Rotherham. Mark Goff reports.
The 2 groups protested last year. Then, several people were arrested. Tomorrow, the EDL will gather at a bar in Broad Street before moving to Centenary Square at 1 p.m. Unite Against Fascism will gather in Chamberlain Square. Both protests have been allowed to take place from 11 in the morning, but must finish by 3 in the afternoon. The English Defence League say they have 12 issues they're protesting about. Among them are the so-called Trojan horse affair in Birmingham's schools and what they describe as the national issue of abuse of English girls by Muslim men in the wake of the scandal in Rotherham. Birmingham City Council, religious leaders and the Police and Crime Commissioner issued a statement saying the EDL isn't welcome in Birmingham. Bar Risa said they've been asked several times by the police if they'd host the EDL protesters because their bar is big enough to accommodate the group. They said no repeatedly, but they say they have little option other than to help the police manage this situation. The police said they appreciate Bar Risa's support in what's been a difficult and reluctant decision for them.
I think the bottom line is the EDL, because we live in a democratic country, can go where the hell they like. And my view is that if they are going to come to Birmingham, they want to come to Birmingham, then it's best to try and manage that as well as possible. Bar Risa is a great location to manage this particular rally. The concerns are, it's just that, you know, we could do without this, to be honest. I mean, the street's more than well equipped to accommodate something like this. I mean, you know, it's 1,000 people. We can handle up to 50,000 people. So, from a logistics point of view, it's not a big deal. It's just that it's the stigma that goes with it, really.
Police say they'll deploy a substantial number of officers. Bar Risa says it doesn't support the EDL and will donate takings from the day to Midlands Air Ambulance. Mark Goff, ITV News, Birmingham.
Now, this weekend sees the start of the Festival of Diwali, with events planned across the region, including Soho Road in Birmingham and on Leicester's Belgrave Road.
After a spate of robberies and thefts targeting Asian gold and jewellery in recent months, police have warned those taking part in the festivities to be on their guard.
Diwali is a very low crime event, but it is a trend that we have seen over recent weeks on the Belgrave area and across other parts of the city as well, and that's why we're giving that crime prevention advice. Secure your home, even if you're just popping out for a couple of minutes, and if you're going out for the evening or overnight, then remember to leave a light on, and also don't leave any valuables and jewellery on show. Make sure it's all safely stowed away.